Welcome guys. In the last video we saw how to install Python. From this lecture we'll start real coding. I am using Linux Ubuntu and Anaconda package. I have created a folder on desktop in which I'll be saving all my work. Now click on the command prompt and type source activate and your environment name. Here it is my_env. Type Jupyter Notebook after going inside this environment. If you are using Windows, simply click on Jupyter Notebook icon. This will open in browser like this. Okay, here you can see your all folders. Now I'm using desktop, so I'll click desktop and I will select that folder where I'm going to save all my work. This is the folder. Click on this. Now click on the new tab and go to Python 3. This will open your new Jupyter editor file in new tab in your browser. Okay, now click on this untitled button here. Okay, and let me rename this file or our project. Let me write basic IO commands and just click on this rename. Okay, the title has been changed. Now I can use this editor as a writing pad by clicking on this code and selecting markdown here. Hash is used to give a heading. Everything is starting with hash will be heading with a much larger font size. Double hash is also heading with smaller font size compared to this single hash font size. Click on this run. Okay, so this will look like this. Let's see how to assign a value to a variable. A is a variable. I am assigning it value 5. Print function is used to display the result. Print bracket A. Click on this run and this 5 will be displayed as the output. Here it is. Now hash is used to write a single line comments. Comments are non-executable statements. Our interpreter will ignore it, but they give meanings to your code. Like this is hard code, you can't change it at runtime. Every time you have to change it, go to the value, replace it with another number like this. Also, let me change again. I'm using shift enter. Instead of going every time to that run button, you can use shift plus enter key to run this cell where I am writing. This is called cell in Jupyter Notebook. Okay, moving on to the new cell. Using type function I can check what is the data type of this variable. Print bracket type bracket variable name. So it is showing it is an integer. So obviously 5 is an integer. Let me write something. So if you have used C or C++, you must remember that you need to write int a. But in Python, you don't need to declare beforehand about the data type. Like I am writing here a is equal to 9. I am not mentioning that it is an integer. Python automatically knows that this is an integer, and this feature is called dynamically programming language feature. So Python is dynamically programmed language or dynamically typed language. Starting with non-integers, anything which you write within quotes is treated as non-integer, or we call it character. So quotes are used to mention to write non-integer values or characters, and the data type which is this is known as, let me check by using type, it is called a string. Okay, let me check the output also. So this is Python without quotes. It is displaying without quotes. Like single quotes, you can also write your string within double quotes. Print type C. Let's see, shift enter. Okay, this is also string. Now Python provide you another feature. You can use triple quotes as well. So I'm using single quotes 3 times. Let me see, print type D, shift enter. Okay, this is also string. And you can also use double quotes 3 times to write a string. Let me check this, print type E. So this is also a string. Now what is the purpose of these all single quotes, double quotes, triple quotes? So let me write a string which contains single quotes within the message itself, like an apostrophe. Python's training. You can see here this apostrophe is not recognized as apostrophe, it is treating as end of single quote. And if I run this, let me end this with another quote. If I run this, and this will lead to definitely an error. Let me check this. Print my string, my underscore string, shift enter, and you see invalid syntax. In such cases, what can we do? Let me select this using shift and arrow key and place it in double quote, shift enter. Now it's running. Similarly, we can have some statements in which I need to display double quotes as well as single quotes. In that case, triple quotes are used, like it's informative too. Let me write, select this, and again I am using shift and arrow key to select. You can use your mouse and cursor as well. Place it in triple quotes, shift enter. Now you see. So this is the advantage of triple quotes in Python. Along with this, there is one more advantage of triple quote, very important. Triple quotes are used to write multi-line comments. Okay, let me write this in multiple lines. Are used, enter, for multiple multi-line comments. See, if I run this, what happens? Shift enter. Let me run this. Okay, you can see triple quotes are used /n, which means that new line has been inserted, again new line has been inserted. Now if I run this with some code, let me write my underscore str is equal to, let me write Python is fun. Okay, and let me print this, print my string. Now it will display only Python is fun, and that multi-line comment will not be displayed. In this case, when you have code and as well as you want to write some heading, you want to give some heading, then you can also use hash, and you can also use triple quotes if the heading is of multiple line, and in that case it is called doc string. Let me triple quotes. Okay, triple quotes acts as doc string. Let me write this also. Triple quotes act as title of the code as well. So I'll select this and I'll write it as doc string. So when you read in books or other tutorial you might follow, you can see there it is written doc strings. So it is no special thing, it is just a comment, but I am using it as an heading. Let me run this. Okay, so this is document string, which shows that okay, I'm performing some string operation. Now you see that above codes are hard coded. B is equal to Python, A is equal to 5 or 78 or 9. So question is how to write user defined values, or how codes which can change at runtime. How can we write? Okay, not codes. How can we write such values which can change at runtime? Let's focus on that thing now. If I write input A and I write it A equal to input, now I'm not writing 5, I'm writing input, then I am prompting the user, I'm asking it to give an input like this. Let me write something. Python, enter, shift enter. Okay, now again I have to change this input. Then I don't have to go and change at input, I'll change here at runtime like this. Okay, but do remember one thing, that this syntax is for a string input only. Okay, I have written here 5, this is integer, but actually Python is treating as a string. Let me check the type now. I'll check the type also. I'll write some number, I'll check the type, and you see this is a string, so it is looking integer, but actually Python is treating it as a string. It means that you can't perform numeric operations like addition, subtraction on this. So if I want to treat is at integer, just add int before this thing. This will act for integer input only. Let me check this. Now shift enter. Now write some number. Now this is integer. Okay. If I write a string now, this will give an error because I am asking to enter integer and I am writing a string here. Okay, you can also change this integer into float. Let me change this, and this will give decimal values like 6.7. Okay, so this class belongs to float. What if I write an integer instead of float? So it will convert, it will display it in form of integer and in form of float. Okay, now let's see how to assign inputs to multiple variables. Like I am now using two variables with two values, a equal to 10, b equal to 11, print a, print b. There is another option when I can print a and b both by comma separated, print a comma b. Okay, this is running. I can make my display output more meaningful by writing something in quotes, by writing some strings. Let me write the value of a is, the value of b is. Okay, the value of b is. Now within quotes everything will be displayed as it is. The values of a and b are comma. Let me write here also a and b. Okay, let me run this. So what happens? These strings make your output more readable, although not necessary, but do practice this thing. Okay, there is another way you can write this multiple values in single line. Let me copy this and paste here. Okay, what happened is 11 is assigned to b and 10 is assigned to a, and this is known as multiple assignments in single line. So what you were doing earlier, you are writing a equal to 10 and b equal to 11 in two lines. Here I am writing it in single line, multiple assignment in single line. Let me copy this and paste it here. Let me do some manipulations here. Let me add one more variable and one more value. I will remove all this for code simplicity, otherwise I'll have to change this thing again and again. A, B and C, A, B and C and D, it will take time. So let me write ABC. Okay, so 10 is assigned to A, 11 to B, 12 to C. Let me add one more value, 14. See what happens now. Let me run this. Okay, so it's showing an error. Expected 3, and see the word unpack. Expected 3 because there are 3 variables to hold the values, but there are 4 values. So too many values to unpack. Let me add one variable. Now it works. You can also use underscore. Now Python provide the feature to use underscore as a variable name here, and this will work. Okay, cool. Another way is to use a prefix to a variable. Like here I'll use a prefix, a star sign, asterisk sign, and let me run this. Now this will not throw an error. 10 is assigned to A, 11 to B, and remaining all values are assigned to C. Let me check this again with prefix B. Now what happened? 10 to A, 11, 12 to B, and 14 to C. Let me check again this by assigning this a star to A and running this. What will happen? 10 and 11 will be assigned to A, 12 to B, and 14 to C. So what happened here? Technically, this concept is known as packing and unpacking of tuples. Now tuples is another data type and a data structure also, and we'll deal with tuples later in very detailing. For the time being, it is known as packing and unpacking of tuples. And this star prefixed variable, this is very important. Let me write this thing also. This star prefixed variable is called args. You must have read this term, star args, or we call it argument. A variable with any number of argument. Basically it means that a variable with any number of arguments. So here what is happening, this star a, it is holding all the variables. What is happening here, it's creating the values into equal number of variable sets. There are 3 variables and 4 values, so it's making these 4 values into set of 3 to be equally passed. Okay, another method to write input is very important. Let's discuss this. Okay, a comma b input you have seen. Now I will use another function known as a split, and let me print this. By default this split has a space. Let me write 10 space 20 and I run this 1020. You can use any separator, like I am using comma. Now I'll run this 10 comma 20. Okay, let me. So this split function splits the input into separators, using separators, and this is for strings only. Do remember that. Let me check this using integer. Let me select this brackets, and now I'm writing an integer and see what happens now. 1020, it will show an error, and what error is written, int argument must be a string. So with this split method you can only pass a string. Even if it is looking number, don't go for it, don't perform any operation there. Okay, numeric operation, it will be string. Okay, before concluding, one last thing. We saw how to write user defined values in using input. Let me put some message here. Like I can put some message, enter first number which is input, so I'll put this inside input function, and I want this to be an integer, so I'll put this entire thing into an integer function, int. Earlier it was input or int input, but now I can also write a message inside this input section. Same I am doing with this b. Let me change this first to second. Just okay, let me run this. Now it will, you can see here message. Earlier it was only a text box. Now you can see here message is also being prompt. Enter first number, enter second number. Again, this is to make your code more meaningful. Nothing fancy about it. You can simply write input. Okay, let me remove this int. Now I can here write only string, only non-integer value. So one I have written Python, another 11. Okay, one is a string, another is 11. It will run. Okay, so these were basic input output commands. Practice these, comment your opinions, what you feel. Thank you, and we will see in next lecture. Thank you for the time being.